All right. Well, so why do you keep going back to the same lesson? I know. Today's episode, we are coming to this realization that I even experienced recently. I started thinking about how many people believe they're healed simply because time has passed. Maybe the breakup happened years ago, maybe the friendship ended, maybe you've done the work. Maybe you've read the books, listened to the podcast, gone to therapy, and prayed about it. And because enough time has passed, you assume you're healed. I would say it all the time. I've worked on that. But here's what I've learned. Healing isn't tested when the temptation is gone. Healing is tested when the opportunity comes back and represents represents itself or presents itself. Stumbling over my words today. When the old person calls, when the old relationship resurfaces, when the old pattern presents itself again, because healing is what you know. Or I should say, healing isn't what you know. Healing is what you choose. And that's what we're talking about today. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of You Were Meant for More. I'm your host, Francine Ayala, self-love coach and transformational speaker. And I'm so excited that you're here because we are just on this move, you guys. We came from love wasn't enough to that's not who I am anymore to I am showing up in a space of growth. And this episode is about you don't heal by going back to the same patterns that you knew. So I'm excited to share this with you guys. But first, wherever you're joining me from, so I wanted to get a poll from you guys because I got a little cute message about my hair today. So I'll share a little bit of the background, but I was going for, I don't want to do my hair. It's too hot. So I'm going to put it in this little bun in the back and then just add a cute little flower. And then I saw these earrings from when I went to Hawaii 2 months ago. And I was like, I'm going to add these too. Kind of cute little thing going on. Well, a friend of mine, she's like, you're giving off mariachi vibes, Mexico's playing today in the World Cup and the FIFA Cup. And so I was just like, oh, okay. So am I giving Mexico mariachi vibes or am I giving Hawaiian vibes? So you guys let me know whether you're joining me live or on replay. Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. Let me know you're here and you're joining. So excited. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and jump in. Remember, like I say, pull in your chair, get a journal, get a notepad, get a pencil, pen, paper, or journal, whatever you use, because I want you to go through this with me and definitely share with somebody who needs this information because, man, we are going to get real about all the things that have happened. I just saw this, you guys. I wanted to share with you really quick. So, my nail popped off the other day, two of them. So I had to put new ones on, but I haven't polished them. But I don't know why. I'm so digging the vibe. I have no idea why. I'm just it doesn't bother me. I think it kind of looks cute, with a whole different color. It's clear and then you got the red going. It's all good, you guys. Anyways, again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm all about showing the love. So you guys, I'm going to have questions for you, reflection, and we're going to dive into this together. Okay. And I put some a little bit of images together. So it's not just me coming at you all the time, even though I know on YouTube, you got to change angles and you got to come closer and you got to come back and closer. That's how you keep people's attention. But because I'm live, I don't have all of those tools to do, but we're going to roll with it. Right. Okay. So let me go ahead and jump in. I'm going to pull in my notes and here we go. So you guys, I don't believe life punishes us, but I do believe life reveals us. Coming from someone who's been through it, yes. So think about school. You don't know what you've learned until you take the test. The same is true emotionally. Many of us say we've healed from people pleasing, then someone gets upset with us and suddenly we abandon ourselves. And it's true. This happened to me literally not too long ago, where somebody showed up in a way that they remembered me as, and I was like, that's not who I am anymore. But it sent me in a turmoil of emotions, thinking like, am I not good enough? What is happening? I've done this, I've done that. I just had to redirect the brain and say, you are fine. You're good. That has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. So again, sometimes we just need to take a step back and remind ourselves of our divine power and purpose here. All right? Okay. So we say we've healed from unhealthy relationships. Then the same type of person shows up and we find ourselves attracted again. Does this happen to you? No judgment. Been there multiple times. The test isn't there to shame you. The test is there to show you where you really are. Not where you think you are, where you actually are. So I share this with people, and it's like, don't get upset. Don't get mad at the person. Don't get mad at yourself. Give yourself grace and understand where that pattern is coming from. Okay. It's all about self-discovery, and we're going to dive more into it. So listen up, stay tuned. Okay. But I do have a question for you all first. So let's go ahead and go to that question now. Okay. So I got to do it like that. It was working differently the other way. That's fine. Okay. So you spent months healing after a breakup. You've told yourself you're over them. Then one day, your phone lights up with a text that simply says, "Hey, I've been thinking about you." Okay. Oh, sorry. I was checking YouTube to make sure we were live. "Hey, I've been thinking about you." Suddenly your heart starts racing. You're checking your phone every 5 minutes, wondering what it means. You thought you've moved on, but that text revealed there was still healing left to do. And so I want to ask if that's ever happened to you. So that kind of gives you an idea of like, if something is continuing to show up, are you reacting to it? So I want to give you another example. Okay, so that's a relationship one. So another example is the toxic job. You finally left a job where you felt undervalued, like overworked and constantly stressed. Months later, your former boss calls and offers you your old position back with a little more money. For a moment, you seriously consider going back, even though you know how unhappy you were. Sometimes healing isn't just about the people, it's about learning to not return to places that cost you your peace. I know that probably hit several of you deep. And then my third example is you've been working on loving yourself. You're building confidence, you're leaning into who you are, you're learning your worth. Then someone criticizes you or doesn't invite you somewhere, and suddenly you're questioning yourself all over again. You catch yourself thinking, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe they don't like me. Maybe I need to prove myself. That moment reveals there's still a part of you looking for validation from others instead of finding it within yourself. Yeah, and you definitely don't want to do that because you have everything within you to be so abundantly blessed. And it's all how you show up. It's all how you present yourself. And I've shared this in past episodes. You can walk into a room and control the room. when you know how to manage your emotions, when you know how to stand in your power and your purpose, when you are led and you are fed divine purpose from God, you just stand in so much love, joy, peace, abundance, that it's okay that people react differently around you. It doesn't shake you. You're grounded. And that is so powerful, you guys. That's what I love teaching you. That's what I love uncovering within you. I love helping you find that person, that version of you that is ready to go out there and bless the world with your light. I was going to say your shining light. I was stumbling over my words. I'm like, I should have said that. Your shining light, the spirit within you shines for all to see. Okay, so before we go on any further, I want to get to know you a little better. So let me know, you're here. So be honest with me. There's no judgment. Remember, you guys, this is a judgment-free zone. I am all about it. You guys know all the things that I do, as far as like how I support people and all the things I've gone through myself. And I can support them because I know what it feels like. I know what I've gone through. And so I can show up in a space of authenticity and total transparency in how I've responded to things in my life as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you the next one. So this one is poll time. So I want to get your idea, like where you're at. So it's either A, B, or C. Okay, and the question is, all right, so I want you to type A, B, or C in the comments and share with me. Okay, so here we go. Where's the question? Where did I put the question? I think it was the previous question. I'm so sorry. So I already shared the question. So let me go ahead and go back. I'm sorry. So have you ever thought you were over something only to realize you weren't when it showed up again? So did you A, stay too long? B, you leave too quickly? Or C, you struggle with both? So let me know where you're at, A, B, or C, and then we'll go from there. And that's okay. Again, this is just for me to get to know who you are. I want to see where you're at. And then you can answer that whenever you get a chance. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. So what's interesting is that every one of those answers tells a story. So let's talk about why we do what we do, okay? So this is where so many people get stuck. We confuse familiar with aligned. Just because something feels familiar doesn't mean it's healthy. Just because someone feels familiar doesn't mean they're meant for you. Think about it. So many of us were raised around dysfunction. Yes. Can I get an amen? Yeah. We were raised around dysfunction. That's okay. I mean, it's okay in a sense where we're learning about ourselves, right? So dysfunction feels normal to us. Chaos feels normal. Inconsistency feels normal. Unavailable people feel normal. So when we encounter peace, it feels boring. Like I've seen and heard of so many relationships ending because that person is boring or that person is not treating them like crap, not treating them in a space of like cruelty. They're used to that. And it's beyond like crazy to me, but I get it because people are used to that. Hey, Milton, thank you for joining. Hey, true. Sometimes we do that. We sometimes stay too long. We don't catch the signs, and it comes back and bites us in the butt sometimes. And we get to give ourselves grace for knowing now what we didn't know then, but we're learning. That's okay. And sometimes God's redirection is a blessing. So stay with me. All right. Okay, so when we encounter consistency, it feels strange because familiar and aligned are not the same thing. Imagine you've been eating junk food your whole life. I can tell you that, and my body can tell you that I have. The first time you eat healthy food, it feels different. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It means you're adjusting. The same thing happens in relationships. Okay. So, why do we keep going back to people, situations, and patterns that hurt us? Because unfinished wounds seek familiar environments. We think we're chasing love. And I need to say this again. Unfinished wounds seek familiar environments. And to give you a little bit more clarity on that, for if you're joining me like for the first time, is we all have patterns within us. We all have patterns that were instilled within us, these beliefs that people around us pretty much gave us. So, like our family, our parents, our mentors, our grandparents, whoever raised us, they instilled their patterns, their beliefs within us. And so we learn from just the people that we love around us. And we don't know any better. They don't know any better. And we just start to understand that these patterns are showing up in a way that are not beneficial to us. And so that's why we continue to seek out the same type of lesson or the same type of pattern, the same type of unhealthy, familiar relationship, if that makes sense to you. So, yo, glad to be here. I'm so happy you're here, Milton. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Okay, so remember, I want to say this again, unfinished wounds seek familiar environments. So now you understand the process. It's a familiar environment. So we're often chasing this familiarity. We're trying to rewrite an old story. We're trying to finally get the validation we didn't receive. We're trying to prove something. And until we heal the wound within, we'll continue chasing the same lesson, but wearing different faces. So I tell people this all the time. I'm like, okay, so a relationship that you were in the past has the same patterns going on in the next relationship until you heal the wound within. And I saw that in my own past relationships. The same type of men would come out of the woodworks and they all had the same face, the same patterns. And I was just like, what is happening? Why is it the same? That's not what I want. But I kept entertaining it. So understand, you're also, if you're entertaining it, you're also still validating what they're there for. So you're still not learning that lesson. And it wasn't until I was like, oh, it was clear. I had the unfinished the unfinished business. I'm thinking of a movie when you're in I know it just came to mind, but it was like it's a movie. I can't even think of it right now, but you know, the ghosts are there because they have unfinished business. Oh, Casper. Oh my God. Yay, Casper. Yes, I just did that. I had a squirrel moment and I just went Casper on you guys. So unfinished business, right? The ghosts were there in Casper with unfinished business. So when there's unfinished business, you're going to continue to repeat that wound. So sorry about that. All right, let's see who's here. Will, proof is moving on and being a better version of yourself. Yes, Will, I love it. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. And then as well as showing that you're superior than them in a different way. You can't. I love that you said that. I understand what I understand the meaning about that. But when you say superior, you never want to be superior to anybody. And I say that because I was given a hard lesson on that by one of my coaches. You just want to give people grace for where they're at in their lives, and know that you're growing, and you wish them all the best. Because I said the same thing. That's why I'm laughing, because I'm like, my coach was like, nope. Because I was like, but I'm further ahead. I'm over here, and he's like right here. And it's like, nope, it doesn't mean that. That's your ego talking. So if I got to get a slap in the face, Will, you're getting a slap in the face about it. Just kidding. Thank you so much for sharing. But yeah, it is. We tend to think, oh, we're better than, or we're far ahead. And it's literally, that's an ego type of response. And it's only that we get to show people love for where they're at and just know that we're growing in our own space, in our own time, in our own way. In our own time, like our growth process. And then, everyone is growing on their own time. They're in their own journey. But thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And since you know me so well, you know that I share that with love. I'm telling you, my coach had a hard talk with me. So let's see. Milton, two different people, two different races. It can be. It can be two different people, two different races, understanding that everyone has a background where they came from. But again, it's the lessons, it was the beliefs that were instilled in every single person. So when you're not communicating in a relationship, then it can go south real fast, or it'll go south over time, and it'll just get worse. But bottom line is, in any relationship, whether it be romantic, friendship, coworker, communication is key to understanding the dynamic of what the person's needs are. And it's really helping, or it's really speaking to each other in a place of love and understanding. But both people have to be willing to do it. And both people have to be willing to address concerns. So thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate it. That's awesome. I love it. Okay. So we talked about continuing chasing same lessons, wearing different faces. And now I have a question for you, actually. So my next question is going to be, have you ever found yourself dating different people, but experiencing the same problems? So I want you to reflect on this. Have you ever found yourself dating different people, but experiencing the same problems? So this is what I went back and shared with you guys, how it's going to always show up. The lesson will show up in different spaces, like whether it's a person, a situation, it's going to continue to present itself. So that's why that's a powerful question, is have you ever found yourself dating different people but experiencing the same problems? Because there's something that you still haven't healed from. That wound is still there. So you may start dating somebody new, but there's going to be a situation that comes forward and you're going to be like, why does this feel so familiar? Why is this happening again? And remember, it's not the person. The person is only a stacker. Sorry, I'm remembering the verbiage my coach used with me. The person is a stacker that will show up in your life to see if you're going to respond the same way, or if you're going to actually take the opportunity to learn the lesson and grow from it. So yeah, everybody that comes and presents themselves to you is going to be a reflection of a wound that you get to work on, if it's a bad one. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on from that one. All right. So this is where growth gets exciting, you guys. The old you and the new you don't make the same decisions. The old you tolerated. The new you has standards. And the old you chased, where the new you chooses. The old you settled. The new you aligns. The old you ignored your intuition, and the new you trusts it. And here's the difficult part. The old version of you doesn't disappear overnight. Sometimes she or he still whispers. Sometimes she or he still wants attention. Sometimes she or he still wants validation. But growth happens when you stop letting her or him drive. So let me break this down for you. So for example, we have the conscious mind, which runs 10% of our body, of our everything. So we're aware of the conscious mind, right? The conscious mind. Then we have our subconscious mind that's running 90% of who we are. It's making us breathe. It's telling our blood to flow, our lungs to work. It's moving for us. It's constantly running the programs that we have that are in our minds. So it has all the files. I remember when I was a kid, they showed us like these little movies in school, and they were all like cartoonish. And I remember that like your brain, right, has all these files, and you'd see a big old file machine and it would like categorize everything. But it has all these files that it's holding on to from your past. And so you have to understand that you're not the same person you were 5 years ago. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago. You're developing, you're maturing, you're understanding things that are in your lives that are no longer beneficial for you. Okay. So again, the old version of you doesn't disappear, but the new version of you who you're stepping into gives grace to the old version and says, hey, I got this. We're going to be okay. And so it's just understanding that you get to become this person that God is blessing you to become. You get to step into your power and purpose. He has a divine purpose for you, and you have to be ready to receive it. Okay. And that's where the love, the abundance, the happiness, the joy comes in. And I tell people that all the time. You know, you can be single and be completely happy because of the blessings that you're constantly receiving. You're growing, you're evolving. So understand that your subconscious mind will also always try to protect you. So guess what? It's going to revert back to the old patterns, to the old wounds. It's going to tell you, hey, I want to be with this type of person, and then realize that person was just like the other person, but with a different face, same patterns. And you're like, wait a second, I want something different. I know I deserve something different. And that's your conscious mind of understanding, look, this is like an old habit, an old pattern that I'm repeating, and I want to change this pattern. So it's all within you. So when you realize that it has nothing to do with the person itself, that it's a reflection within you, you get to choose how to move forward. You get to choose what kind of life you want. So every time we repeat an old pattern, there's a cost. It costs us peace. It costs us confidence. It costs us time. It costs us energy. And sometimes it costs us opportunities. Because while we're familiar, entertaining what's familiar, we're unavailable for what's aligned. So if you're looking to step into that next level of a relationship, of a career, of a friendship, whatever that may look like, you got to let go of the old person. You got to let go of the old habits, the patterns that you were familiar with, and step into what's aligned with you. Because one of the greatest acts of self-love is refusing to pay the same lesson twice. It's a good one. That's a good one, you guys. All right. Remember, key takeaway. The old you tolerated. The new you has standards. Remember who you are. Okay? You got to stop paying tuition to a school you've already graduated from. Oh, did I just say that? I did. I'm going to say it for those in the back that want to hear, or that are kind of interested, but they're just like, wait, what? What did she say? I'm going to say it again. Stop paying tuition to a school you've already graduated from. You're no longer playing in that area. You're no longer playing in the sandbox. Let's go. Okay? A boundary isn't about controlling someone else. A boundary reveals what you've learned. Think about it. The boundary doesn't create your growth. The boundary reveals it. So the healed version of you doesn't need to explain herself for 2 hours. She simply knows. She doesn't need permission. She doesn't need approval. She doesn't need everyone to agree. She honors what she knows. something came up as an example the other day for me. And I want to share with you because I'm sure you guys are maybe going through this in life. Milt. If you're in my class, it's not a different class. You're hilarious. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Okay, but I want to bring something to light to just to kind of give you an example of where you're at in in response to how you show up. Okay, so this is just it's a simple example. I'll give you an example like for what happened the other day. So I'm in a group chat for a company that I've partnered with, and I want to say 5 women. There's 5 women. And it was one of their birthdays. So everybody's texting, happy birthday, happy birthday. Let's name her Monica. Happy birthday, Monica, happy birthday. And I was really busy that day. I literally didn't get a chance to wish her a happy birthday. So I was like, oh man, I didn't get a chance. I was like, okay. So 2 days later, I have to go back to that group and do a follow-up message. And I was like, oh, by the way, Monica, I hope you had an amazing birthday. Cheers to many more. Okay, so I say this because it wasn't being rude. It wasn't being that I wasn't there for her or I wasn't showing up in a certain way and people looked at me differently. It was that I was just honoring my time and how busy I was. The old me would have been like, oh my God, I gotta wish her a happy birthday. Oh my God, how am I gonna look? People are gonna think I'm so rude. I didn't even respond. That's people pleasing. That's allowing people to control how you respond to things. And that's not the lane you're in anymore. You get to stay in power. You get to stay in your purpose. You get to understand that how you're moving is through with love and intention and not what other people think. So I had to share that so that you guys have an idea of what knowing your worth, knowing who you are, and standing that ground is fine. And there's no arrogance. There's no, how do you say? There's no there's nothing around it that makes you feel like you're somebody different and nobody's going to like you. There's none of that. It's just coming from a place of love and who you are. And the thing is, when you carry yourself like that, people respect you more. They respect who you are. And when you respect yourself, that's how you show up to the people around you. You show up with confidence, with self-respect, with love, with worthiness, with knowing you're enough. And that's how people treat you. That's how you respond to this world, because if not, the world will eat you up, and spit you out. And that's not what you're here for. You're here to make waves. You're here to shine your light. You're here to support other people. We were all given this life to support people, but it's about healing within first. Okay. All right. I had to share that example because I wanted to kind of share with you how to understand the whole needing validation and people pleasing aspect. Okay, you guys, I'm going into the next question. Oh, that's not that one. What's one boundary you wish you would have set years ago? So what's one boundary that you wish you would have set years ago? I want you to reflect on that. And you can put it in the chat or you can reflect on it, write it down, completely up to you. Everything eventually comes back to self-worth, because people with low self-worth ask, do they choose me? People with healthy self-worth ask, do they align with me? That's a completely different question. So let me give you an example. I used to be this person a while back, but it was like every time there was something like an event or there was something to do or, who's going to take the lead on this? Who's going to take charge of this? Me. I was always the first to volunteer. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. And I'm like, like I'm not that person anymore. But I remember I was that people pleaser. I didn't even realize I was a people pleaser, but I was, because I just kept showing up and overexerting myself when I didn't have the capacity and the time to do it. So my friend, even one of my friends who was a coach, she was like, why do you always have to accept everything that's given? And I was like, oh, she's like, why do you always have to say yes? Who are you trying to please? And I was like, that's a great question. But that is a reflection of like my self-worth. Like I was always trying to do stuff for people, for our group, for whatever. Now, granted, there were times I took leadership role because I wanted to make sure things were done. Okay. And that's, just me evolving as a student in that space. It is true. So thank you, Milton. That was just me taking charge because I wanted to make sure things were done properly. But again, that could be also me not being able to delegate, not being controlling. That's when like control issues start with women, so whatever that may look like. I'm in a place now where I say, you know what, do I have the capacity? Somebody approached me the other day to be part of this big expo. I know what I bring to the table. I know my value. I know my worth. I know what I'm capable of. I host events, conferences, you name it. And I had 10 million questions. And he's like, kind of threw him off. And I was like, well, the thing is, I'm not going to just say yes. In my head, I'm like, I value my time. I value my energy. I create the spaces I want to be part of. Meaning I will show up in a space of like, okay, is that going to be beneficial for my time and energy? Because that's another thing, you guys. Your energy is everything. You got to protect who you are, who you surround yourself with, because you got to surround yourself with the people that are thriving, that are showing up in a space of growth and opportunity and, excitement and vision. If you surround yourself around people who are dragging, who are complaining, who are, unhealthy in their communications and how they approach life, and it'll only drag you down. So why would you do that? I protect my energy at all costs. But I wasn't that person before, right? So remember, everything eventually comes back to self-worth. Do they choose me? It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. I ask, do they align with me? That's a completely different question. One comes from fear, the other comes from value. Your self-worth determines what you'll tolerate, what you'll chase, and what you'll walk away from. And you guys catch my last episodes, because last week's episode, you best believe I walked away from somebody who didn't respect me. And it was an easy block for me because I'm not that person who he thought I was. So that was last week's episode. You could catch that one and go catch it on replay. But again, understand who you are. Remember, there was no hate. There was no judgment. There was just, you know what? This is who I am. This is my boundary. We're good. Nothing but love. Okay. So one thing I've noticed about God, He'll often allow the lesson to return, not because He wants to punish us, but because He wants us to see our growth. The same type of situation, the same type of temptation, the same invitation, but this time a different response. And suddenly you realize, I've changed. And it's funny because my relationship with God, I'll laugh about it, because sometimes like I know what He's doing, and I'll even tell Him, I'm like, I see what you're doing. I literally will say it out loud. I'll tell Him, I'll be like, I see what you're doing. And the thing is, remember, same situations will show up, same invitation. And like, so lately they've been showing up in my life too. And I'm just like, I see what you're doing. So remember, a different response. And suddenly you realize, I've changed. I'm not who I used to be. That's one of the most beautiful moments in personal growth. See, the true test of healing isn't that opportunity disappears. The true test of healing is the opportunity remains. And you no longer want it. And you no longer need it. And you no longer chase it. And you no longer build your identity around it. You finally understand that your peace is worth protecting. That shows a whole bunch of love, doesn't it? All right, you guys, let's see. Where are we? Because I have questions for you. Okay, so we're at minute 40. The show goes for another 15 minutes. So I want to see if I want you guys to continue with your paper, your journals, and things like that. So I want to do a healing journey with you guys. Is that okay? I'm going to bring in some questions. So let me go ahead and bring those up. So healing journey quiz. Hold on, let me make sure I went through all of the questions here too. Did I put that one up there? I don't know if I showed this to you guys. Growth changes what you tolerate. Yes, yes. Can I get a high five for that? It's amazing. All right, I'm curious to see what my next one is. Okay. Actually, yeah, let me go ahead and share this one, you guys. I'm going to share this one before we jump into the healing journey quiz. All right, question. What keeps showing up in your life that you're being invited to choose differently? What keeps showing up in your life that you're being invited to choose differently? Oh, I know mine. It's hilarious. But I'll keep that personal. Okay, so here we go. Healing journey quiz. Go ahead. Grab a piece of paper. I almost choked, you guys. Don't you love when you choke on your own spit? Not spit, but like you choke on your... while you're trying to clear your throat. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here we go. We're doing the healing journey quiz. Grab your paper, grab your pen, your pencil, whatever you want to do. It's going to be it's going to be A, B, or C, and you're going to rank them. So A is 3, so 3 points for A. And so as you do your calculating, let's say it's A, you just write the number 3 next to it. B is going to be 2 points, and C will be 1 point. And then we're going to tally them up at the end, okay? So here we go. Okay. So basically, have you really healed or have you been distracted? So let's go. Remember, this is all no judgment free zone, okay? So we're just doing this together. Okay, question 1. Your ex reaches out after months of silence. Oh, how do you respond? Do you A, I wish them well, but I don't feel pulled back? B, I feel conflicted, but remind myself why it ended? Or C, I immediately wonder if this is another chance. So A, B, or C. I'm gonna do this with you guys. I did it with you guys last week and I forgot to add mine up. My bad. Okay, lastly, let me go through it one more time. Question 1, your ex reaches out after months of silence. Do you A, I wish them well, but I don't feel pulled back? B, I feel conflicted, but remind myself why it ended? Or C, I immediately wonder if this is another chance. Okay. Question number 2. Someone who hurt you apologizes. Okay. Do you A, I can forgive them without reopening the relationship? B, I appreciate it, but I'm still unsure? Or C, I instantly want things to go back to the way they were? All right. One more time. Someone who hurts you apologizes. So right here, it just depends. Like for me, I'm going to just reflect on this. It depends. Like, how did they hurt me? There's more to this, right? A, I can forgive them without reopening the relationship. So again, you hurt me. There was like, it was a boundary. It was like something you went past. I'm all about forgiving. I forgive people because I know their roadmap. I know everybody has a roadmap and they only know what they know. And it just depends. Like reopening a relationship, most likely not. If they passed the boundary that I was just like not okay with, no, I'd wish them well, bless and release. B, I appreciate it, but I'm still unsure. Now it all depends like on what it was. So, like I said, it was a boundary, then I'd be like, no, I'm good, you know? So, because people will show you who they are. But again, I'm still a forgiving person, but I also know my boundaries. So, B, I appreciate it, but I'm still unsure. Or C, I instantly want things to go back to the way they were. So, A, B, or C. I'm gonna go with B, honestly, because it depends. It depends on what it was. So I know this can apply to all of them. Okay, question 3. You hear your ex is dating someone else. Ooh. Do you A, I'm genuinely happy and continue living my life? B, it stings for a moment, but I recover quickly? Or C, it ruins my entire day? All right, let's do it one more time. You hear your ex is dating someone else. Do you A, I'm genuinely happy and continue living my life? It stings for a moment, but I recover quickly and it ruins my entire day. I would say B for me. I should share my answers at the end, huh? Yeah. I won't ruin it for you guys. I want to hear your answers. So let me know what you think if you want to share. I think it's just because, like, if I was like, you know, it depends on how it, like, I don't know. I feel like with my exes, like, I mean, there was still love there, but it didn't work. So I don't know. Maybe it'll sting because you feel like there's like that connection, but then I don't know. Anyways, that's my own thing. Okay, number 4. Question 4. Someone compliments you. A, I receive it without needing more validation. B, I appreciate it, but still question if they mean it. Or C, my confidence depends on hearing things like that. I laughed at this one because it was just a running joke I had with my friend. Okay, number 4 again. Sorry. Someone compliments you. Do you A, I receive it without needing more validation? Do you B, I appreciate it, but still question if they mean it? Or C, my confidence depends on hearing things like that? Meaning you have to receive that type of information all the time in order for your confidence to build. All right, number 5. You notice the same red flags in someone new. What did we just talk about? What was this show all about? I'm just kidding. A, I walk away confidently. B, I pause. I think about it carefully. Or C, I convince myself it'll be different this time. All right. Number 5, you notice the same red flags in someone new. Do you A, I walk away confidently? Do you B, I pause and think about it carefully? Or do you C, I convince myself it'll be different this time? All right, number 6. There's 10 questions. I forgot I forgot to say that. 10 questions. Question 6. You're feeling lonely. All right, let's see what we got. A is the correct answer. Is that to B? I'm curious, Will. You're hilarious. Is that A the correct answer to B? Let's see. To question 5. That one. You notice the same red flags. I walk away confident. Yes, Will. If that was to that one, I'm so proud of you. Okay, question 6. I'm sorry, that was hilarious. Oh my god. D or D. I'm trying to move this. Hold on. I can't. I can't with you. You're hilarious. Where is it? No. No, no, no. There we go. So Will says D, don't bother me again. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. That's too funny. Okay, back to the questions. All right, so we are on 6. We're lonely. Okay, so what do we do when we feel lonely? All right, number 6. Here we go. You're feeling lonely. Do you A, I create a meaningful day for myself? Do you B, I reach out to trusted friends? Or do you C, I immediately want to text someone from my past? Oh. All right, you're feeling lonely. What do you do? Go ahead and write it down. Let me see, where am I? Okay, one more time. You're feeling lonely. Do you A, I create a meaningful day for myself? B, I reach out to trusted friends? C, I immediately want to text someone from my past. All right, next question, you guys. All right, question 7. Someone crosses one of your boundaries. Oh. Do you A, I address it immediately? B, I hesitate but eventually say something? Or C, I ignore it to keep the peace? Someone crosses one of your boundaries. All right, let's see. Do I A, address it immediately? Do I B, hesitate but eventually say something? Or C, I ignore it to keep the peace? Where are you guys at? All right, question 8. You remember a painful season. Okay, so you're remembering a painful season in your life. Do you A, I see how much I've grown? B, it still hurts, but I'm learning? Or C, it feels like it happened yesterday? So remember, you remember a painful season. I guess we're to say, depending on like where you're at in that season, right? So yeah, I mean, I understand. Everybody can have a different answer depending on where they're at with their emotional growth and in their lives. So A, I see how much I've grown. B, it still hurts, but I'm learning. Or C, it feels like it happened yesterday. Sorry, playing with you guys. Okay, number 9. You don't receive the attention you hoped for. So you don't receive the attention you hope for. Do you A, my value doesn't change? B, I feel disappointed but recover? Or C, I start questioning my worth? I am not putting that on the screen, Will. Stop it. Oh, he said yes, it still hurts. But never mind. Okay, number 9. You don't receive the attention you hope for. A, my value doesn't change. B, I feel disappointed but recover. Or C, I start questioning my worth. Okay, so you don't receive the attention you hope for. Okay. All right, last question, you guys. Let's do it. Then we're going to break it down. Question 10. You meet someone who reminds you of an old relationship. Oh. Do you A, I pay attention to patterns, not chemistry? B, I'm cautious but curious? Or C, I'm immediately drawn to them because they feel familiar? All right, lastly, you meet someone who reminds you of an old relationship. Do you A, I pay attention to patterns, not chemistry? B, I'm cautious but curious? Or C, I'm immediately drawn to them because they feel familiar? All right, you guys, tally it up. Remember, A's were 3 points, B's were 2 points, and C's were 1 point. So tally it up and drop it in the chat where you guys are at. And let's review this together. So all the above, driven women's coach. Hey, who is it? Give me your name, hun. That's awesome. All of the above to which one? Was it number 10, 9 or 10? Let me know, and let me know your name. Love it. Okay, so we're going to tally all of them up, you guys, and this is where we're at, okay? So here we go. So if you guys are 25 to 30 points, I want you to remember this. Write it down. You're moving forward. Write it down. I'm moving forward. If you have 17 to 24 points, you're healing with awareness. Okay, so then put I'm healing with awareness. And if you have 10 to 16 points, put I'm still healing. And that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to break these down for you guys. All right, so here we go. Where are my questions? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. So if you're moving forward, if you were in that category, 25 to 30 points, let me go ahead and put it back on. You're in this category, right? So you're in this category. Congratulations. Your healing is becoming your lifestyle. That doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're choosing peace more often than patterns. You recognize red flags. You protect your boundaries. You trust yourself. Continue letting God refine you because he's preparing you for relationships that don't require you to abandon yourself. All right. Sounds good, right? Okay, so if you're 17 to 24 points, you're healing with awareness. So you're making progress. Sometimes you choose your healing. Sometimes your emotions still win. And that's okay because growth isn't perfection. Growth is making different decisions than you would have made a year ago. So keep paying attention to the moments that still trigger you. Those aren't signs of failure. They're invitations for a deeper healing. Okay? And then if you are 10 to 16 points, first, give yourself grace. As I said, this isn't a label, it's a starting point. The good news is you've already taken the first step by becoming aware because healing begins with honesty. God isn't asking you to pretend you're healed. He's asking you to trust him enough to begin the healing process. Every healthy boundary, every difficult goodbye, every choice to honor your worth moves you one step closer to the person he's creating you to become. I want you to remember something. This quiz wasn't about judging yourself. It was about revealing yourself because you can't heal what you refuse to acknowledge. And today, God may not have simply shown you the next place. He's basically inviting you to grow into. That's not condemnation, that's love. So remember, you are his love, his light. So I want to leave you with this question, okay? I'm going to put it up. Is it there? What keeps you moving? Yeah, I think so. What keeps you? Yeah, it's right there. All right, I'm going to show this last question on the screen. Let me remove this one. For you, know that you are blessed. Okay. So maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a habit, maybe it's a belief, maybe it's a version of yourself. Whatever it is, remember this. Growth isn't measured by what you know. Growth is measured by what you choose. And one day you'll find yourself standing in front of an old opportunity and realizing the old me would have said yes, but she or he doesn't live here anymore. So until next time, you guys, remember to share with somebody who can use this information. Know that I'm here for you. Oh, I got to tell you guys what I got, huh? All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3 is 21. I got 27 points, you guys. So I am right there. So, yay! That's awesome, actually. It's really great for me to see. I want to know where you're at. Let me know. This is exciting times, you guys, as we move through this process together. So stay blessed. Know you're worthy of amazing things. And always remember that you were meant for more. So until next week, I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Thank you all for joining.